What's up? Welcome. First of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're finally made it. It's the end of the year, and as a gift from me to you, I present to you the 5th Annual Hardcore Awards 2022. This year has been eventful in terms of music, and we've got some really interesting matchups in our categories this year. This year we only have 9 categories, but you guys have crushed it in participation record because 8,500 of votes were submitted across the first and the second round of the vote. So thank you so much, guys, for making this the biggest hardcore awards yet. I'm extremely excited. We got a lot to go through, and I'm really surprised by some of these winners. Let me tell you, these winners were chosen by you voting in the polls, so none of this is my fault. Okay, and if you have your strong opinions, let's hear them. Let's see them in the comments down below. Oh yeah, of course, this is all in good fun. All of these bands and artists featured today are winners, and many more that weren't featured today are also winners. This year has been very impactful. This year has been very packed with incredible releases from everyone. So a round of applause to the bands of metalcore and deathcore across the year of 2022. Let's go. And one more thing just before we begin. Give yourself a pat on the back. You made it. It's 2023 in less than a week. We made it. We're all here. We're all, take a deep breath. You did it. Don't worry about what's going to happen in like a couple of weeks. You made it. You're good. You're doing great. All right, let's get into hardcore awards. Cover art is something that puts an immediate impression, a first impression of an album or an EP or a single on a listener. That puts that much more pressure on graphic designers and artists when creating a perfect cover art. This year we've got some incredible art, but these are your top voted nominees. Bad Omens, The Death of Peace of Mind. Counterparts, A Eulogy for Those Still Here. The Devil Wears Prada, Colored Decay. Fiffer King, The Hell We Create. And of course, Within Destruction, Lotus. And the winner of the best cover art of the year is The Devil Wears Prada, Colored Decay. Congratulations. Welcome to the way down. Keep on selling me away. Before we get deep into the awards, of course we already given one, I wanted to quickly give a little shout out to two specific artists that have been the most nominated artists of Hardcore Awards 22. These are Bad Omens and Wind Waker. Both incredibly unique bands, both in their own unique way. And of course, both received 5 nominations each, which is more than half this year, which is kind of crazy. So a round of applause for Bad Omens and Wind Waker. Let's see who gets home the most awards at the end of the day. And the way we can do that is just by keep going, so let's keep it going. Moving along from static single images, we enter the realm of possibilities, the moving pictures, and 24 of them per second. We're of course talking about music videos. It is an exciting category and no doubt one of the most complicated ones to vote for, and among thousands of extremely creative, extremely emotional, technically difficult music videos of this year, these were your top 5 nominees. Alpha Wolf, Hotel Underground. Electric Callboy, Huracan. Landmark, Self-Made Black Hole featuring Resolve. Lorna Shore, Pain Remains Part 1, Dancing Like Flames. And of course, Spirit Box, Rotoscope. A little personal shout out from me to Resolve for making one of my favorite music videos of the year, Move to Trash. That video is fucking awesome. But the winner for the Music Video of the Year award is Electric Callboy, Huracan. There's one thing about this channel that you may know if you've been following for long enough, and it's of course the challenge. The challenge you've been training for the whole year. The challenge many will fail, the others will dread, and only the chosen ones will pass. The infamous Try Not To Headbang Challenge 2022 edition is coming out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there at the premiere. You're not gonna make it. It's impossible. It's actually impossible. I scientifically formulated the whole thing to be physically impossible. It is also the longest Try Not To Headbang challenge in the history of my channel, so strap in. You're not ready. Try not to headbang. 2022. What do bands dropping bangers after a very long break, bands dropping bangers after a not so universally praised album, and bands that are dropping bangers after a somewhat of unfortunate events or controversies have in common? They all get nominated for the best comeback of the year at Hardcore Awards. Before we get into nominees, I would like to issue a little bit of an apology to the band that I'm sure all of us were expecting in this category, and for some goddamn reason, I forgot to include them in the initial round 1 shortlist, and that is Miss May I. I'm sorry. You deserve this award. It's been a long time. You dropped an album that's a banger. Miss May I. Give it a little bit of a clap to Miss May I. With that being said, these are the top 5 nominees as voted by you. A Day to Remember, Miracle. Chelsea Grin, Suffer in Hell. Fit for a King, The Hell We Create. Make Them Suffer, Doom Switch. And Ocean's 8 Alaska, Disparity. And the winner, according to you, is Make Them Suffer, Doom Switch. Wow, Metalcore YouTube. What a place to be. What a fun community to be a part of. This is a place where you can find some of the most toxic comments to some of the most tame reactions. Lots of copyright claims on literally everything. However, it's been getting better, and a special shout out from me to A Rising Empire and Sharp Tone Records for being cool as fuck. And some of the genuinely most brilliant, amazing, honest, and cool people that we all share this space with. Shout out to everyone I've chatted with. Shout out to everyone I've, just so much as exchanged a single message with. Shout out to every single YouTuber, every single creative in this space of Metalcore YouTube. There's a lot of us. We're everywhere. Much love to Metalcore community on YouTube, and see you in the next year. Keep being cool as shit. Ever catch a feeling just finding a random band you never heard about that completely blows your socks off, or a band that you've kind of given up on and they drop an album and you're like, holy shit, this is surprising. This is the best surprise category of Hardcore Awards this year, and here are your top nominees for this category. Bad Omens, The Death of Peace of Mind. Fit for a King, The Hell We Create. The Gloom in the Corner, Trinity. Thornhill, Heroin. And Within Destruction, Lotus. And the winner for the best surprise of the year, according to y'all, is Bad Omens, Death of Peace of Mind. Woo! I said it's enough. I begged and I ran in circles. I climbed to the sun. About a month ago, there was this annual craze about Spotify Wrapped. Everybody was posting who their most favorite artist of the year was, what their most listened to genre was. I wasn't an exception. I also posted it. And this year's Wrapped was actually pretty interesting to me because it perfectly reflects a lot of the change that I had this year in terms of my musical listening experience and musical listening habits. And I've been pretty surprised by it. How about you? Have you been surprised by your Spotify Wrapped this year? First of all, apparently I really love Of Mice and Men. Even though they didn't really drop anything this year, they're one of my most listened to artists this year. It's crazy. Second of all, my top genre is metalcore. Ugh. Third of all, not all first impressions are the correct ones because, as you remember, I kind of shitted on Northlane Obsidian. And here it is, my second most listened to artist of the year being Northlane, and majority of those streams actually come from Obsidian, so safe to say it kind of came back to me. Fourth of all, Bad Omens and Void of Vision are sexy. Super sexy. And finally, fifth of all, my most listened to artist of the year is Devil Wears Prada. Wow, Bogdan, how unexpected, how surprising. You're so quirky. I know I am. Well, how about yours? Who was your most listened to artist of the year? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to know, for real. Collabing and featuring has been one of the biggest trends of this year and last year, and you love to see it. You love to see your favorite artists come together and create something fucking amazing. And this category is a perfect representation of that. So here are your top 5 nominees for the best collab of the year. Alpha Wolf, 60 Centimeters of Steel featuring Holding Absence. Darka US, Come Home featuring Rory Rodriguez. Landmarks, Self-Made Black Hole featuring Resolve. Motionless in White, Slaughterhouse featuring Brian Garris. And of course, We Came as Romans featuring Brand of Sacrifice on Dark Bloom. And this category is kind of a unprecedented thing in hardcore awards because, believe it or not, the gap between the second and the first place was 5 votes. And in the tightest battle, the winner is Motionless in White Slaughterhouse featuring Brian Garris, with the second place being Landmarks. From year to year, this is one of my most favorite categories of all time, and it's the best breakthrough of the year. Specifically, this year, I've been exposed to a lot of smaller, newer bands out there because of Twitch, because you guys post something in the chat, I'm like, what the fuck? This is actually good. Fun fact, out of all of categories this year, this one had the tightest margins among every single one of these nominees. There was no easy win for any of them. From first to fifth, it was a close battle. At one point, all 3 top nominees had the same exact amount of votes, which is kind of crazy. These are the artists who've debuted in 2022 or have gained a significant amount of following and praise in 2022. And here are your top 5 nominees for this category. Alt, Avoid, Bloodywood, The Gloom in the Corner, and Wind Waker. And the breakthrough artist of the year, according to you, is Wind Waker. Congratulations. I'm calling when I need you here with me. With that out of the way, I can talk a little bit about my own favorite discoveries of the year. Like I mentioned, a lot of these came from Twitch, from you guys, so I appreciate all of you introducing me to incredible bands this year. Avoid was an incredible discovery this year, because most of 2022 I was actually kind of avoiding them, and I only checked out their album very recently, and I fucking enjoyed it so much. Fun as hell riffs and nostalgic hooks. What more can you ask for? Can't not mention Zealand Ardor being one of the most weird and unique entries of the year in terms of just my music listening. I was like, what the hell is this? I kind of love it. Alt, an absolutely incredible band of musicians. I actually had a very, very big honor to meet them in person on High Five Summerfest in Sweden this year, which was kind of crazy. But these guys crushed it with the EP this year and actually are nominated, but that's a little spoiler for you. But the ones that stood out the most for me and became one of my most listened to artists this year is definitely Banks Arcade. The incredible Future Lovers album is pulling on heartstrings. You know, sometimes it's just fun as hell. Sometimes it's a little bit more chill, a little bit more sad. It's got everything. Definitely check these guys out. I think something big is gonna happen to them in the coming years, so make sure you jump on board before they call you a bandwagoner. So yeah, Banks Arcade, my favorite discovery of the year. Woo! They won't miss us. Everybody loves a quick EP. A shorter, more focused experience, maybe a little story that is tied and wrapped up by just 5 or even sometimes less songs. This also allows for bands to do a little bit of experimentation, do something different, without, causing too much havoc in the fan base. These have been a massive part of 2022, and we've got some incredible EPs. And it's no wonder once you take a look at these hot flaming nominees as voted by you. Abbey Falls, Hell is Other People. Alt, The Seed of Self-Destruction. Alpha Wolf and Holding Absence with The Lost and the Longing. Kublai Khan TX with Lowest Form of Animal. And of course, Void of Vision with Chronicles 2, Heaven. And your favorite EP of 2022 is Alpha Wolf and Holding Absence with The Lost and the Longing. Congratulations. Whew, big leagues. This is big leagues. This one is particularly painful because how the hell are you supposed to choose one single favorite song out of hundreds and thousands of songs being released this year, and a lot of them have been absolutely 10 out of 10 bangers? How are you supposed to choose one? There have been so many top tier certified hood classics in 2022 that it genuinely made me cry to see some of them get snubbed by the votes by you, and some of them just being left out because of how long the list was already. I think we had like 30 nominees in our initial shortlist, and it's like, how am I supposed to choose? It's crazy. But you guys did, and so here are your top 5 voted nominees for the best song of the year. Bad Omens, Just Pretend. Currents, The Death We Seek. The Devil Wears Prada, Salt. Lorna Shore, Pain Remains Part 1, Dancing Like Flames. And Make Them Suffer, Doom Switch. And the best song of 2022 as voted by you is Make Them Suffer, Doom Switch. Before we kind of just wrap this up, this has been pretty quick, hey? Before we do that though, I wanted to take a little detour just to express my gratitude to every single one person who has, in one way or another, been a part of the channel this year. This has been a difficult year for a lot of reasons, but I think it has also been one of the most exciting years for this channel, and I can't thank you enough for being a part of it. I had a huge honor to meet and talk to a lot of musicians that I listen to on a daily, which has been like a kind of experience, you know what I mean? A special shout out to my first ever guests on my streams, Joel from Aviana, Maria from Future Palace, Robin from Alt. Of course, a special shout out to Stoffe, who was responsible for me going out to Sweden, to Stockholm, to check out High Five Summerfest and hang out and meet some even more incredible musicians. It was crazy, and I utmost gratitude for this opportunity to all of you. Of course, can't forget my man Tyler from Off Virtue, who I chatted with a couple of months ago. Can't forget my man Julian, who I've birthed Circle Wind with. Together we did it. It's out. The EP is out. Go stream it. Go follow it on your streaming platform of choice. It has been an incredible kind of experience to be an artist for once of music and see other people react to my music, which, by the way, if you reacted to Circle Wind, thank you. Thank you so much. Just an insane year for the books. Definitely missing out a lot more people and definitely missing out a lot more things that happened, but just know that I've appreciated everything that's ever been done for me and every help, every piece of advice that I've received this year. The only thing I have left to say to you is thank you. All right, let's get cracking to the biggest award of the night. Whew, this is it. This is it. Almost makes me a little bit emotional because we already made it almost to the end of Hardcore Awards 22. This is a big one. This is a massive one. This is the Album of the Year one. This year, not unlike the last one, has featured a crazy amount of variety, a crazy amount of albums to choose from, and I don't know how you guys did it, but you did. 35 initial albums were picked for the round one of vote, which is insane. But this is it. These are the top 6 nominees for Album of the Year award. Bad Omens, The Death of Peace of Mind. The Devil Wears Prada, Color Decay. Lorna Shore, Pain Remains. I Prevail, True Power. Northlane, Obsidian. And of course, Thornhill, Heroin. You may wonder, why 6? Why not 5 like literally every other category? Well, fun fact, round 1 ended in this category with 5th and 6th spot having the exact same amount of votes, which was kind of crazy, but this vote has been brutal. It has been sad. It has been extremely difficult. One thing this vote hasn't been is boring. Let's start from the spot number 6 and make our way up to the winner like we did last year because, you know, it keeps up the tension, makes it a little bit more interesting. So, Album of the Year 2022, let's get it. At number 6, with 297 votes, is Thornhill, Heroin. Not too far away, at number 5, with just 5 votes more, 302 votes, is I Prevail, True Power. Jumping up to the number 4 spot with a pretty big and significant jump in votes with 364 is Northlane, Obsidian. Cracking into the top 3 now. And number 3 with another massive jump, 472 votes, is Lorna Shore, Pain Remains. Alright, number 2. Number 2. You know the drill about this one. As soon as I tell you who's the second one, you will know the winner. So there's no reason for me to keep torturing you. There's no reason for me to keep up the tension. Let's just get into it. Number 2, with a massive gap in votes, 926 people voted for this one. Number 2, this album is... Let's get a little drum roll action in the back. Bad Omens, The Death of Peace of Mind, which means the winner of Hardcore Awards 22 with massive 1,008 votes is The Devil Wears Prada, Color Decay. Well, there we have it. Another Hardcore Awards for the books. Another Hardcore Awards done and dusted. This has been incredible. And listen, I just wanted to reiterate how much I'm grateful for every single one of you for voting and participating. The turnout on this Hardcore Awards have been a lot greater than last year's, and you know, I always make an effort to make these videos like the best videos of the year. I have a lot of fun putting these together and just kind of seeing how the community feels about this stuff, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I really love doing these, and I hope you like them too. Thank you so much for being a part of Hardcore this year. It's, like I said, it's been an incredible year. It's been a roller coaster, but truly, thank you to every single one of you. I'm not saying goodbye just yet, because we still have a couple of videos before the end of 2022. For example, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, December 26th, Try Not To Headbang Challenge 2022. Bug your favorite YouTubers to attempt at it. It's impossible. I'm just telling you, it's not possible. But try. It's what it's called. Try Not To Headbang Challenge. Of course, I also have a little cheeky top 22 albums of the year coming later next week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining this year's Hardcore Awards 22. I loved it. I loved doing it, and I love you for being a part of it. And listen, last final thing I want to leave you with is none of this is real. It doesn't matter. These are just numbers and letters. Listen to whoever you like, buy merch from whoever you like, and consider an AOTY whatever album you like, because music is fucking subjective. But nonetheless, this has been Hardcore Awards 2022. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.